라서 랑아 세위기 시들려야 랑기 셈 랑기 류 랑기 콜라 랑기 펌 랑기 부시 있어 랑들레 섭자되게 유수순이 다른 거 지길 내림dim도 주버신 랑기 노부 세메두고 시작되게 데 당아져라 니든dim도 주버신 알루기 쑥주디 짬에 단계에서 데널로 주든dim도 주버신 랑기 노부소다 랑기 노부데 가모소신 랑기 부시디 있어 데볼레텐데게 주든데야 랑기 부시 랑기 노부 세비기 주든게 돌로 다른 나라 뭐 믹슬길 내림지 표인 있으시니 데데데자칼로 가라로 구상몰라 다 지등 때가 저기 다리기 레림디 임도 집에 와신 데데 시디 알루기 숲지 썸에 단계 세메도고 샤디기베 표인이 있으시니 대 가시베 표고에 나세 또 domda지 쇼도 집에 와신 당가 제가 레와 세미딘 밀루 마발라라 유비기 깨위간라라 알루 충구시 임버신 대다tum비라 와지 타나 법종무줄래야 코라다 tum비게라 와지두세 다니 레와 유도 숨바라 제가 사사치 좀 팜 집에 가래 팜들로 레와 같이 요봉 세베베보다 알루디 깨위기 남들들래라 알루디 끼사우치라 되게 차지 알루디 bom주의 간래 알루디 bom주사심들로 알루디 랑고 한동배 되고 세 딘디베 샤고 세 가시다 베디베스 줄에 내등 답 대도도베 샤고 세미디 팜이게라와 지임베 스슈니 다니 레와디 동칼로 때때 딱히도스베 동가츠다심들로 잡칼레 가시 온다가데 마타위 간래 탐메 탄주 힘들로 알루기 팜이게레도 두수디베스 줄에 알루들로 시데미 알루들로 가와미 다니 가키다 시데디 메베 간래 해마케디 유비기 레와두수 때때 추베스 루샤다멈 때보다 샴메비기 휴지나 룰루숨베 슈카네 메비기 내땅줄로 주베베 베간래 아니 레와데다 베샤딩이게 바나 답 마룰레 텐데게베 알루디 때 미세기 내땅 소소주고 주임베세 다 아니 베니디기 다 미길도 둡 미길 둡다 체컬루 알루들로 가키디 중급도 집에 와신 시데디 중급도 집에 와신 춥주디 짬메땅 겁다 카체세 가시베셀랍도 집에 와신 춥주 짬메땅납도 집에 와신 알루디 시데 중니임베 알루디 시데 중답도 집에 와신 가제레 갸캅기 몽비기 내땅디 알루임레 텐디게베 몽비기 내땅디 딘디치 주수님베세 데데볼레 텐디게베 랑긴 노부 랑기 부지 랑기 노비 세위기 주딩기 톨로 내림치 편이고 수빈이 있으시니라.
Kuzampo everybody, I'm Chunisuk Selden and I'm most elated to host this very special program today. We are kicking off a very important campaign to end violence against children with the theme Rangi Puji, Rangi Nobu. When raising a child, Bhutanese parents often wish them to grow up to be successful, strong, kind, independent, and, what did I miss? Well-behaved. These are the most popular adjectives a typical parent would use to describe their ideal goals for their children. However, today, with the growing number of cases of mental illnesses referred to the hospital, one realizes that all the money, success, and social status means nothing if one isn't happy, if one isn't at peace. One of the key ways we can work towards ensuring happy citizens is to direct our focus on our children because they are our future.
옴디 마기 주인이세. 대대보다 옴디 마주버진 마디 미템베세. 다 아니 춥주디 카시위기 내땅지 이 대보다 찌기 고된 탑디기베 마음도 집에 와진 디 안에 카체도도 이세. 뜨미수베세. 대대볼레 텐디기베 다른 같이 독장다기 카돌레 텐날레 유통 다 레림드수 대치 슝기슈베 피메데 소라 유니세프 기 잡주 디좀베라 슝기 카돌레 임도 집에 와진 게령 암수다 알루기 헨소도 디좀베라 암수 샤자다 쭈루비아기 레데도 달레 시릭 헨카 소일 헨카 미데날루 샤투 슈디기베 데미 디좀베라 당아자라 다주기 카돌루 데 고와다 투페니루 겐코포디기베 데미 가세 가라 냠루기 톨레베심달루 다리기 레림디 대표니기 다디 수디기베 유유스쇼니 다 레림디 뜸비기 네캅데널로야 다 알루다데위기 치베니디기 맨디 맨사니메바 데보다 맨딜레 shum베 데 포와테니기도노 추통고에 아니 좀베 고와다 투페니디임베 데보다 데타니기도노 또하게 레림데 카체스 시작되기베 다리 결중 참다도 그러 로중 때외기날레 데센지 데 짜마도디기베 디숨베라 데 다리나바 가능와 쭈룹진 전항진 ki kanewa hembolu churup kanewa yobolu kechi minje yubigi te najun suge te ngachi nalu te chamba tokdigi be yuyu shuni te tarigidi ngachi gojesam chibe te nalu te banakola ma lure chukdigi be pyuyi te nalepa toro ngachi ruk jangdagi khatule midelu kowa te pinigi te lerimdusu sosobe digi be yuyu shuni ila.
BBS, along with UNICEF, in collaboration with National Commission for Women and Children, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, civil society organizations, faith-based organizations, local government, local media, and other stakeholders has come together to develop and implement this multi-pronged social behavioral change campaign to raise awareness on violence against children and promote mental health. In the coming weeks, BBS hopes to table multiple discussions on different forms of violence against children for us to understand the issue better. And today we are fortunate to have representatives from some of the stakeholders involved in the movement to hear from them their target and their way forward in this pursuit of elimination of violence against children. And in between the discussions, we will have some very entertaining performances by Rapa and few of the most happening artists of the year. And the way we're going to do it is the first hour of this program will have the Zonka session by my colleague here, Purba, yes. And the second hour would be in English.
Yes. 당가실레림디기 평고회 했어요. 팸도 집에 와서 같이 숨줄을 주님에서다 맨 숨줄을 주님에서 다 고당박이 때 샤트디에 맨중 추기 신들세 당가자라 두개 합디 맨기 종이 있어 펜토스비기 미델로 깨되게베 당바라 결중도 그 때위기 커들래 평다 가라 투토위 골 시디까지 전화스 주니 아슈비 정바 주소라 샤주 Las that Minjung Dugya Captain Lu that Guru Rinpoche, Shabjung Rinpoche la Subigi, Kishin Dambasu, Kadeve Jundiyoga, Tanulu Shijak di Gibe, Luji di Pesawi, Sashuni, Ani Luji de Chika Besham the Lu, Tangacha Dugya Habdi, Chudingi Habji Imbe, Chudingi Hab Imbachin, Misekara, Chusim Jingi Mrs. Sansa Imbe, Chusim Jin Sansa Imdo Chibojin, Pembiladin and Luchamatu Gupti. Kanewa Kase, the bullet in the giver, Tari, Tangache, that Alugi Subjudi, the Jew Duni, Alugi Subjudi, Sametanigi, Nedun de, Tangacha Alulu, Pemba Junidi imbe, de Chuchim let in the giver, Machigi let him the Dune, Tunguchira, my ambassador, Noigi, Rawa Sushuni, that the Chigidi, Luzigi let him Naila. That the him do Chibuation, the two are Tillen, the Banakula, the let him that we call a shigop de, the Kanawa Kase, the bullet in the giver, the Tarina couldn't sue, should they give you Sushuni. The couldn't Dambagina, him do Chibuation, the Gayong Amsuda, a little Hinsuginale, that let him copin, Nishuchimbe, Kinodukusambla. The let the Dizumbera Tangachi let him to Nalu, that Shudu Sumbera, the Nalu Nyamdeli Bimidi. That Madobi Bletendi give that Nibana, the Imdo Chibawasin, Tazara, Tarayanagin, that let him copin, Sunudilla. The let that Toro, the Nalapa, let him Begobigila, the Lesser being ale, Lemi Lesser Masua, Tabmindo, Mosla, Torotin Nalu, that Samatoti Vinale, that Najun Lamdingi, the Kisaptoshin Tilela. The let the Dizumbera, the Dangachara, Tari, Tangachara, Amsuda, Alusulu, Charo Bimigi, Mingum, Lessetera, Lady Lessetera, Ibinale, the Amsu Chaja, the Churuyaki, Lady Ginale, the Laptunba, the Renew Maya Monger, the Yundiki Sushni, Tamara, Tangacha let him to Kumatsubigi, Joa Dilinsu, Mashuigi Hema, the Tari, the Anuzumigi, that let him go out the Tigi, let him to Kotsube, but the Digitun, Begopchago Lesadu, Vidibesicure, that the Kotsubigi to Setulu. Lago Kashes to certain name to look at the chase should be. Tada Tambara, that Tarigi Nedunde, Najudunde, Rangi Bushi, the Rangin of East and Medugusha. The Lengiva so the Alu, the Tsujudi, Tanim Chibi Judugope, Anim Chibi, some Metango Big Nedungo, the Begobig Nedunchi, Anigi Coata to Chipego Big Nedun, Mamasica Sugar, Sungarichanasala.
Namsami Kadiche Sushugila, Chandra. Lezingi, Dizumgi, Gukam Namidilu, the Namsami Kadiche, the Maji, the Dari King Achirigi, that Alugi, Tsupchi, Samitango Bigi, Lerim, the Miguel de Rangi Puji, Rangi Nobu say, the Jagumi Midindi, Tawara, Tengachara, that Alu Busutsu, the Boom Teodulu, the Concha Blue, the Lamtendi, the Nami Sami Lejum Begopchi, the Namsami Kachi, Shunila. The Bewalatin Digibe, Tengachirigi, that Maumpagi, that Mr. Be the Besture, Maumpalu, Takichin Chuzonidi, Alubutsuki, Lapole, Imletin Digibe, Tengachere Aludisulu, that Nachumbe Jubi Cabulera, that Matkulu, the Tsupchi Disu, that Jum Machuniki Tenle, Tengachi Rimdi, Gotin Tabi Seshunila. The Ding Achigi Kachibe Tagub Imna say Shubachin, the Tawa Chidi, Tengacharegi, that Midinalu, the Kangil Damadu Jaksidu, Seshunila, Nachi Alupusulu, that Kangil Tendidu, Dinatinile, that Dizum Gitendalu, the Dinalu Machigi, Domlin this way, 때 레줌베 때 알루기 때 토방 더 티디기베 땡아치 베곱테 남섬이 같이 수준이나 땡아치 때 겐쿠르디 시붐베 땡아치 ngache garalu te populatin dibe te jum se me te kitte se me pham se me lebe se men te garagi te genkurchi bakupe dibe I seshunila tanga chigi te lerimdi te dizumbe sukumidi chidi te kaselbe shuwachin tenga chini tong chudunalu te shipsechi be seshunila te shipsechi be bodulu te dinalu ngachigi te chapchisube alulu te tsupchi temidi te chidi ngachigi zugi tsupchi di imbe seshunila te sudilta be bochin jachale te tukchurenga manam chidu seshunila din hatinile tenga chigi te dechigi tsupchi du seshunila dechigi tsupchi gi thegar hibobdalu te halam jachale bochin te chusu manam chidu din hatinile te chap chisudira te kachidu sowachin te alu butsulu te chultin be mabigi lap totubgi te anzumgi te tsupchewe du seshunila da anzumbe ta didadobe te ngachirigi te tarena balu te kangil chuchuchuchi chapchuchuchi ta ngachirigi neji covid humigi loletsi digibe te ngachirigi dadin tuliki te chaladisu te lalim methap mipchimi imbe seshunila te anebe bebo tem digibe te diswe ngachi dinalu te yongdelgi tsupchigi kangile te asari ta tenigi gutsudo seshunila ta anebe ole tem digibe te ngachi lerimdi te godin thamidi te chi sawachin te ngachira te ngachire pamda dile ngachire gi jung dilen gedde kade besure rangi genkurchi bakti gibe tengachi alugi tsupchi dik chametani gi miktin lu tendigibe te godin thabi seshunila
las kadechela te tambara te tengachara khungda gyoba dusulu shumbe shebdo chibe washin te nalefa lerim tani ra bede besu churu gowa da tigi lerim nalu chamatuni ra bede besu chure namisami semshu hengera tiptopsuni imbe seshuni tangachara nedin di tambara ngotu di phisaila ngotu di phibe beshimdalu ngachara misena kachusumchi khachewina tal lerim tayu dusudule kachusumchi sambake digibe te tagowina 다 안에 술로 시작되기에 대접지 지행을 모치기 송좀 대 견사 터미널로 세미디 평 가라기 대 토토위기 꼴에 sen심달로 다 안이기 치든두수 나자라 아주 알루 숲주다 되기 내den주도 버디기에 디두수 섬에다늘로 hentabege 수준이 Las gyonsa tamigin nalu lama jada tsagi ise kenchen nyusum dembachin tsendegi lama ngomai ise alu chigi ai chigi phamalu alu jada tsagi ise alu digi phamalu shabdo juro chibe washin alu sonami ajuni ise desumbera pham de uchinalu phamlesha ise busulu laptun di ketabe alu de chokachap alu gi mise denda dembabe sosubdo chibe washin 잠된 파미게 양세 파미게 날에 저쇼디세 잡지 해를 무치게 아니 송베베 보다로 다른 것이라 팜 저쇼지 차로 저쇼지 빈차 저쇼지 르베 저쇼지 가시라베데 베수줄에 나준리 템비기 저쇼지 렌타블로 다니 루시디기 펜 토토 봉스 노이기 데라와 유수슈니 다다 토투드라 저와기 날로 다다 geong amsu da alul hensugi di chamchigi be bedigi be nammi thongbela ta ke hab dinalu milo la shayimbe sawo madu la shayimbe dinanu ngile khaki madu la shayimbe lusu madu la shayimbe anusu ta tidigi be di kadebe benina kada kagi begin beni inagi lamrukche ti jogobsumbara thome ta anigi nalu kadebe nachi
투된 세슈니라 땡같이 경험 암수다 알윌 hensugi chamchigibe teta ngachigi ladi berami sub sesunila kachi weso wachin teta ngachirigi teta midenal phalu tengachigi te gyong amsu da alul hensugi mosab mi sesunila ni beole tendigibe tengachigi teta middle hensoda te nyamdul betigibe kara 땡아저기 알루기 타든을 차라나미 술 추가베 땡아지 냠들이기 툴이 배급 디남섬이 같이 니 배월에 땡디기베 땡아지 삼실루 땡아지 모탑기 종각숨비 선날에 데 지디 삼시 데 삼시디 데 고든디 데 타레야나기 데 탑디기베 데 레데다 리쿰 데 종각기 암수다 알루일 hen소 촉중다 제가 따라야내기베 데다 고든 타운스슈니라
yes
디다도베 데다 도레 같이 팀플베베 보친 땡같이 나전 남땡기베 데다 롬데다 종각도 제가 냠르기 둘에 디다 제가 같이 이기 데다 레콩다 레징 델랜드 주민 소바 수수 가르 유미트스 제가 냠들베 고든디 콩기 나전 남땡기베 탑니 시슈니라 데 디다 제가 베 같이 리뉴기 하돌레 데다 타시간루베 데다 안줌베 쪽팁베라 레콩 숨기베 데다 네베 고든 탑니 세슈니라
고든 조디베 뭐 고다스데스
고든 조비나
yes kadishela 다다 다가자라 니딘 구쪽에 수준베 다니긴나루 뜻다도 뜻다가자라 다 따라야니기 카툴레 삼질레 고든 탑니베베보다 다 고든 탑돌레 뜻에 가라 쩌라집베라 탑디기베 조네이나 야진 따라야니기 dinalunga chi 니딘 아누구시샤 베탐자 아네베 베데기베 조니세 소소주요가라 그다음에 지
나스카리첼라다 담바라 따라야나 시초기 콜레 tum다치 슈겔라 따라야나 시초디 남로 닉동 숨루 미온겔륨 도주오모 마추쇼기 베시츠나나 밀라 땡아 지미길 쪼디 산에 타주기 미세술로 초와야르타니기 나루베 차슈도 수슈닐라 다 담바라 samchiluwe ngachi gi kodin thapni kokam namin dule ka chesi shugo bela te ta ngachi sum na renew national lamten da tarayana gi migil di chi la mapa ta tibyoda sane sosobe mida dewa thapthangi da nekape atsima dobe tengo be mola sago karanalu nekap sigi be jomitu bela te ta samchilo bewachin ngachi tarayana gi chashushu gi nyamyong marapchira yela te mapa inidi ngachi tarayana gi field officer sela jongkha kechi karanalu chaishudo te tinale samchidi ngachi gi tote chashudira yela shemizumbera te ta ngachi genko tsodi ta ma yugo nalefa mise khoradara chegobigi be toto mikpade ane weekend su shuniwela ta geok chamchna hewa mitube mosla geok nale chiok na hegobe chiok nale tore chiok be beroeta tore khatto di begale chimrirena hunigi ngachi gi anebe rewake do su shuniwela ta samchi chamchulo bewachin to chiokra dinchuten tu dechi dula te ta ngache chamchige bemisube ta circle gi sundo zumbe ani bindi gara chikabe lapthipdi ngachigi ta chora alulu chupche map zone di imemola ta chidani gi besubi gi la membe ani benidigi ta samchilo tara yanegi godin besa thapdi mamla tiboda ladi gara gi chirup gi tholebera ani biniwe se shudola
das kadishela ta 미세 때가서 geog nale chugo nale thana chim kumbale kuchugdigibe tete midachiga jawa tabdigibe digi goadaptidusu penigi chajidusu tarayana기 tebe dola tarayana기 tatu tsamdibigi chajidi tidonimigi yesesumbe samjigi zunga karanalo resunigi tendellu besimdalu tidonima chuniyala siwigi lujedipung de tabjiji musiki sungzomi garagi 다니 루지스도 제가 배심들로 무슨 라림디나로 다도 라림스니 달레파베디 비서 줄에 내림나 점마 돈이기들로 심슈 톱 탭베라 토수비기라고 요라 las 다 그치다별에 두시주세 두시데다 티디벼고세 티도님디 지웅세멜라 디좀베라 강디야 슝세 대보다 하닝이 찍어들들로 강디기 자시집에 괜찮베 티도님디 잠는 꼬라잡되게 멤버세 와신 찍어들다 메수비기 라데 아니임베세 다 하니베니디 마치 레림 피뮤체 레림데 따마 존요나 나부에 찰라나니기 찰라 신지기베 장통디 사지 때때 세대기베 샤달라 다또 찍어펴비기 두세드나 마치라 레림수 따대기베 날레파기 니든수 대월 행께 하고 수비기라고 유수슈니 다나 팀부기 팀도 집에 와진 때 나중 남들로 되기베 도라 팀부디 싸고 신다 팀부디 미다라 미 나번나서 아니나 도라 라나 소소기 람르스 소소 도라 라나 소소기 베자 소소도 다하니 베베 보들다 팀부기 디날로 때때 나중 람딩기 카툴레 아니좀이기 고와다트 당가서다 알루기 쭉 줘다 되기 내든들로 고와다 되베보다 탑시까지 숨지 유가 때때 디날라마 베니기 람룩드수 가데베라 유비나 지기 꿀레라
let's 가리체라 다로 겔롱 암추다 알루기 렌속 딜레 잠링 지속 알루기 망일기 데 차지다 레림 지좀 짬나민딜로 남섬 가리체스 주닐라 당아제 나준 람된기 미길 모마드라 데 알루 네땅 춥다나 유미 알루드수 다 텔레 알루 팀다지가 잡길 주미 알루드술루 땡아지기 콜루 쩔소 베디 미데날루 록디 가데베 시축 베디기 코미데날루 란조 랑고 람베 소니기 미길지 아니라 데타 알루 네땅 춥다나 유미 알루술루 잡줄 베고미 미길 모마디지 같이 둡서워진 다 알루디 네땅 춥자베 뎁달레라 땡아지기 알루딜루 체카르도 잡줄지 퓨마수 바친 셈슈 깨디기베 콜루 차로 베마스 프루지 베가진
때 알루디 팀다지가 잡을 주기 년가 알루 창다 요zel로 슈테니 년가 텔 알루기 미세디 남섬에 계속해니 년가 bom돌라 때 안에 배우들로 미길 니디안 이세 슈돌랑 같이 나줄람 된기 레림디기 토콜로 슈도 배워진 땅아치기 템포 조하디다 기옥구 텔렌 지옥 배워진 지옥 집주되지 돌라 땅아체 다치나 따라나기 슈도 좀베라 땅아체 다마라 기옥기 때 닥중 구펜 집주 말함지 돌라 때 코다치가 센좀지 손이라 다마라 같이 때 유칼로 니고 유칼로 tapmadu kadebe du te anchu nyamdul gi thole kadebe setup dugase te lerim nibam dinalu hiptalu lerim nibam nalu dinga chigi te ru midenala falu te khelangi desen yobachin khonda chiga edrunga chi nyamdul benila kasoje nabna sema midenalu te lerim di shichuk beodalu khongi japchur goragula nga chulo te sumba go hiptalu nga chigi teru 종각기 다소 종다 델레 다소 종랍 델레 다소 톰페 대좀뱅아 저리 시르 구펜 조다치가 했던 거 지기다 미데나루 레레 암치 시축 베니베도 데나부기 디나루 순이찬이 레요바친세 데 코데지가 데톱기 레림지 제디기 베iten가 지기 레림디 안에베 미데나루 안에베 찹니 세슈닐라
레스 그르실라 다다 저라치베라 다다가 저라 다 암수 차제도 주루비아길레들로에 다다 나부기디 베시기 사고디 임도치보진 다시강로 이메 파기 내등노래 다 레림수수 또 저라치베라 이나 가데베라 고딘 탑리기 디디주가 숨
Also damper gopom namdilu karinche sishunila ngachigi amsu chaja chur black yargeligdegi kolela wachin molani ngachigi namlu nikton shilu gelum sangi chudeng chogi sam Sijib nadi la nanula ngachigi ani organization basically ngachigi start beoda di namge pa sumle start beila so ani chi ngachigi migil ngoma di ani gi la ngachigi migil ngoma di ngachigi to achieve just equitable and happy society in la vagi camping di basically ngachigi ani tashigang topchi se shuni la so ana di ngachigi charge di ka de bicham de la wachinde first ngachigi dampa bewachin ngachigi gyoki mula gap mangmi sopa disuga ara dele ngachigi ani ngachigi renew gi CBS volunteer kelang pa disuda chiga mula jildum chi ani help baby dele after ani gi shule di ngachiga chi ben la bachin dele ngachigi tato ani vaki subche di mula ani di ka de ani middle awareness create benina hani gi kole ngachi sam diila dele after that ngachi gi khondi sulu ani vaki kole shumbe awareness create basim then after that khondi sugi da middle da geoklu chamchi member chioklu hego be mula ngachi go so ani tamna chioklu ka de bi hini ina ani di ngachi gi geoki administrative officer dele ngachi gi namangmi sokpa dele kapta nam jawa thapbe dele khogi khogi dele kho disugi charo bebe dele ngachi ganjum an beni kirewa yula
les karishela 다다 나중 남딩기 태가레 베데베스 주레 데브라임에 암수 찾아다 주르비야기 레데기 카툴레 베데베스 주레 선냠들디 때 최라 수고베스 선냠들디 취베 보달로 당하자라 다다 교육나 슈미임에 종하나 슈미임에 때 다나가 저라 때 미스 찔정 찔레라 고축디기베 또 고와도 베닐루 렌탑제 나온스노 얘기라고 아니 제남도 집에 와신 메딜루 슈 가림 주요 몰라 마치 레림들레 아니 메좀베라 남스미 슈 메디기 때때 신체 같이 좀 저라 유로 식당도 좀베 마치 레림디기 때때 sup쳐대도 니딘디 짬메라 마발라 식당 수비기 때때 텐디줄루 주수비기 지도 때벌레 텐디기 베도록 루시 메스미디 피게 가라 때때 쪼이기 콜레 시카르잖아라
Chikawa jindo sumbewe chini di kapche yi togi bu holong chini di na chi nimmi ze na do na bum che ge me sum chi shai di biểu da me di mo di tong ko de le ma she nimmi ze na do na bum che ge me sum chi shai di biểu da me di mo di tong ko de le ma she di biểu da che mi lo ni me da ya bi che ni tu di biểu da c'era le veda me ci ka shao da chi ni di kapche yi togi bu holong chi ni di na chi nimmi ze na do na bum che ge me sum chi shai di biểu da me di mo di tong ko de le ma she nimmi ze na do na bum che ge me sum chi shai di biểu da me di mo di tong ko de le ma she nimmi ze na do na bum che ge me sum chi shai di biểu da me
Najin charo po mo tu sem nok sam thep chi tang go be Najin charo po mo tu sem nok sam thep chi tang go be Bi kap ti zum chi na Yen tan ma do le sha tho ka Yentan ma do to me too Ta jule shumbe kopti Yentan ma do to me too Ta jule shumbe kopti Lache tu ki ke ka Nori yer ke kompel tang ke me We charo tu love chi khati di be we charo tu love chi khati di be we charo tu rangi ngota da zin be ke me yentan madu to mi tu ta jible shumbe kopti yentan madu to mi tu ta jible shumbe kopti na chetu ki genka nori go pe yergeta kime Gakap shenda madavi Domingo ta zamling na Gakap shenda madavi Domingo ta zamling na Lam saluk sal zambo Rangi doesn't beg on kajuwe We charutu napchi katinive We charutu napchi katinive We charutu rangi ngota dazen begeme
tat godi luje medigi chu judi luje tat we charusu semidigi judoe bodalo tanga chara kara chigi chilu charusumbe chigi chilu lapthudigi be bewdu chube wachin te nalepa te tamso da mombi ne tangdi leshumbe jogon alusu tindigobe alusu tindijogo wachin alusu gatodo de go wachin chupchodi pangobe te bole tindigibe we charusu salabdo sumbe ngachara kara charuchigi du shige degibe chigi chilu pen통 노이기 때려와 유이서 주니 다다 ngachara lerim gopinlu chishugonimel라 다다 공 다도기네 땅나베 보신 다다 삼치 임베 저시강 임베 팀부 임베 다다 공기 루즈 두수베베 보다 다아 마치 립지 유할레마 참 몰라 다는 좀나 임베 도로 셴카에 벽업적업 대 타나 다 같이 알루유스기 싸고 알루다 저와 데리제스집디 되게 디수 고아 다도 디수 벽업대 가치니 임베 대 셰미 또 된날로 대도비메 가요가 찌다 니버디 아니 레림디 주도달루 두데가 좀 치라고 기비나 아니
마치 같이 고딘디 때 탐미디 같이 때 레디 숨기 뭐 데보들로 도레 디날로 때 같이 레디 숨디 주유 세슈니라 디수에 같이기 때 같이 소진 때다 왕불로 토포미 디수에 같이 때 알루기 춥치날로 때 아시치 강일베 유유 세슈니라 네 베올레 텐디기베 때다 같이 두 주룹시수 딜렌 닥소 디수게 땡아치루 때다 디나루 알루기 춥치기 디나루 때 자메탄니 나루 때 공게 레림 소소베 춥디 유 세슈니라 추데기 하톨레 베데 베스추레 땡아치기 다살렌소 기 우주기 톨레 딜렌 딜렌아치 추딜 헨소기 하톨레 딜렌아치 두 아님 시sup기 하톨레 때 아님 디스루 때 춥치기 강일 팀보아친 때 디나로잉아치기 때다 레림디 때다 조니기 텐로 때다 공게 때로 콘코르기 탑람디수 땡아치기 시축 베베베 때아니 베니베 유 세슈니라 다 나치 아니 주두들로 땡아치기 미길디 때 니베 유 세슈니라 때 치베베 쇼친 땡아치기 때다 다 춥치디수 때다 가데타타 때마팝 주수비기 때 미길치 유 세슈니라 때 니바치 숨들로 땡아치리 알루디술로 춥치 디숨기 강일로 텐비보친 때 잡출 가틀로 쳔나 아니체 시급드나서 같이 해서 슈니라 자니 베올레 텐디기 때 나치기 때 가데 타타 때 알루기 춥치디 때 짜미탄니기루 때 나치기 냠들바 가르치가 냠루기 톨레베 때 나치기 잘디 아네 제니 세슈니라
라스 그리실라 다다 나처럼 tenala lerim du su kadebe yoga tida dewi gi nedun sulu kadebe beni ina se totobe te sunai taringa che goje chamchi beni digi te kadebe beni na gi lamruk chung otu be digi be te shabi su shuni te digi na dungi lenga che ta lerim de nalu te goa ta tupe mi gi theko hibdalu te daju gi nale te kha madobe yebegi nale tatong che te ta yusi gi tele ngara thamadu digi be ngaji tuk janda gi katule mi thong du su phedi gi be te 다 정가 캐치기 미서 용로 라 고아도 두두서 shumbe 피수비기 라와지 깨대기베 날아봐 다리기도 고제베 샤비 날아봐 내든 수수 름바 슌도베 베데기베 같이 두 장다기 갑들레 미통 telе dizumara medida jusuna ba tede dijin tabunabara phudigibe tede nagi migul thamadi tubnilu 렌탑 중무서 노이게 라와치게 되어 있으시니 다네베베 보다 다 마치라 미 bomdin tet rangi kachibeni na rangi shisubela tale dizumbe rang katibe gobina rangi besubela alu sugi thega hebdalu tet alu be tedenale tata ngachi luida semgi kachira bedi besu chure rangi be rang bema subdigu hubebe bodalu anulu charo bedigi be bedabru chube wasin 가도도 기도도 셈이디 개헌가 기변좀 찹리 이메일 찹도 집에 와신 루기아합디 기비 신주로 중 대변인디기 루시 기비 드릴 셈이디 피게 가라 도와셔도도베 세디까지 잖아 10점쯤에 마신날루 루기아합디 알루 춥주디 짬메 당심달루 드릴 기비기시 뭐마실러라 속에서 주니라
So
Semche tamche pamaloka tu chingi alo solechi ra agi pamrai lechi ra agi pamrai Pamadi lenje gona Pamadi lenje gona Ale suche panameke vi pamda so we pamti cheni to Bichegini boya, adam bichegini boya, shepe semble sangeto se nam chingi alo surangi ki dutani Rangi ki dutami o da bichule ma gyuchi da bichule ma gyuchi ale wacha ji kamnika ki bezon tu tablo alisu oche paname alisu oche paname Kuchina ngache mise katoto bede dodi tabura kangel tem da japchur be mi ngache mi wa ke bojudie so sanu ngache tu vi mi sergera tu get kama kedi na jenda mi se tu gita gibadi mi wa choku gedo betu mache dru tu gi betu Charo bego di kache mache gara chika Gyakap kiten dom katendi chachi shuge jen gyakap lure mango ba betu
kubani ditirenchi Gera 똑같은 이 자치 슈게 미와 쪽이 두든 좁게매 같이 둡 together 지가
That was Betsup, written and sung by one of the most popular young artists, Uge. And with that, we begin the English session of the discussion. We have the same panelists, well, almost same. We have Tsiring from Tarayana. We have Tile from Najin Lamtin from Renew, Renu from Renew, there you go. And the new addition to the panelists is Kyazang Tsuki from NCWC, and she's a program officer. Welcome to the show, the English version of the show. My first question is, what is the main objective of this whole campaign?
Well, EVAC, as it is quite self-explanatory in its name, Ending Violence Against Children, is to address the growing concern of abuse against children, not just around, in Bhutan, but around the world as well. We have to remind ourselves that we are ever more connected as countries, as people, as given our race, our background. So having said that, with NCWC as the nodal agency and its implementing partner, development partner, as I may say, the UNICEF, have similar campaigns around the world, but we call it EVAC Bhutan because it has been in the pipeline for quite some time. It took a few years in its development because there are a lot of issues that needs to be addressed. When we address violence in general, it's easy to say so. I mean, not easy, but it's much more, it's better for us to address. But when it comes to children, it's a much different subject because it's very sensitive all the more. So with the EVAC launch, we are addressing a couple of objectives. That is not just violence against children, but the emerging types of violence against children, especially in Bhutan, with the access to internet and a lot of influx of information from around the globe. So we are specifically targeting sexual violence, of course. When we talk about sexual violence, it's not as obvious as it seems, and the first word that comes into mind is rape. But there are so many other forms of sexual violence that people need to be educated on and advocated on. The other thing is peer bullying, which is also quite emerging or has been existing but never been addressed quite formally or publicly with collective efforts from different stakeholders. And of course, we have online bullying as well. Like I said, access to internet has brought in a lot of influx of information, and also, a lot of with the good came bad influence, opportunities to sextortion, and using a lot of social media platforms, which is unsafe, unfiltered for children. So these are global emerging issues, but in Bhutan, it still needs a lot of attention as far as advocacy and education for the public is concerned. That being said, the EVAC, we continuously say, is a multi-sectoral collaboration among stakeholders because there's only so much the government can do, but we need to involve a lot of our CSOs, our NGOs who are all here, and most importantly, the general public. And as we stress, it has to involve children as well because it's a program for the children and by the children. So without involving children, I don't think we can actually achieve these objectives because they need a sense of belonging and an identification, and we can only do that by involving children.
I see. Thank you, Kyazang. You have mentioned that there are, it's a multi-sectoral program. We have other departments or other organizations involved. Could you talk a little about the stakeholders that are that
Right.
you've partnered with?
Right. NCWC is the nodal agency when it comes to addressing violence against children and also implementing the Conventions to the Rights of Children, which is a very international framework as far as the United Nations is concerned. But when it comes to implementing projects, like I said before, we can't do without our CSOs and our NGOs. So we have Renew, Najin Lumptin, the Tariana Foundation, and at the same time our partner is the UNICEF, and then we also have so many other stakeholders representing from the government bodies, including Ministry of Health, and then we have the monastic body as well, because religious representation plays a very important role when it comes to addressing violence against children. In addition to that, we have about over 15 or 16 partners, stakeholders.
And we couldn't have all the stakeholders here, but we have the three main organizations that will take charge of the campaign in three different zonkags. We will talk about it after this song titled Karselma by Bemadiki.
My love, I get so lost. Eternity in your eyes. 'Cause my love, I get so lost. In the sky of love I find within your eyes. Karselma, I'm so lost in just a touch, holding your hands. Now I cannot breathe. No plans, I just came to see. But the way you look is killing me. And I'm just a girl in love with you. Your eyes, they do the right thing, I swear they do. Oh, it's true. Now won't you let me fall for you? Karselma, I'm so lost in just a touch, holding your hands. Now I cannot breathe. No plans, I just came to see. But the way you look is killing me. And I'm just a girl in love with you. Your eyes, they do the right thing, I swear they do. Oh, it's true. Now won't you let me fall for you? I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I said quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice. I let you push me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound. I got the eye of a tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar. I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stride. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake your ground. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound. I got the eye of a tiger, a fighter, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 roar, oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar.
We asked Dichin Yuden Lama to pick a song that best represents her idea of children, and she picked Roar. I asked her why, and she said she wants children to be able to express themselves, sing their hearts out, and basically Roar was the song that came to her head, which is why she chose Roar. Coming back to the discussion, Kezang from NCWC has mentioned about the various stakeholders. We have here Tariana, Najin Lamtin, and Renew with us, and we would like to know the different responsibilities you have taken, and also let's talk about the three Dzongkhaks more. We have Samtsi, we have Thimpu, and Tashigang. So we'll start with Tsiring. Let's talk about Tariana's responsibility in Samtsi.
Alas, thank you. First of all, I would like to thank UNICEF and NCWC for considering Tariana as one of the implementing partners out of the 3 target districts. We are leading in Samtsi, and as Kezang mentioned, it would not be possible without the help, cooperation and collaboration with other stakeholders. So we're very fortunate that we are getting this opportunity to work together towards a common goal of ending violence against children. Now for Samtsi, Tariana, well, we basically have strength, we say, through our field officers who live and work with the people in the remote villages that we work in. And fortunately, Samtsi is one Dzongkhak where we have a long history of working through various projects and intervention. So with this campaign, we are very happy to take it forth for 15 Gyeoks and 76 Cheoks under Samtsi Dzongkhak. And our plan is to first target the district administration, of course, and then we further go down to the Gyeok level, then Cheok, and ultimately very hopeful of reaching individual households and the children themselves, of course.
So that was Samtsi Gimula. And then what about Thimpula?
I would like to acknowledge and I'd like to thank UNICEF and NCWC for bringing multi-sectoral project because I always wish that in order to achieve a result, we need to have an inclusive of CSO partners, CBOs, government agency. This is how the CSO and government has to work together, so which will have an impact on our society. So as an organization, as a child organization, Najin Lamtin has been working with the children in difficult circumstances and children in conflict with the law since 2014. So we support children in difficult circumstances because if we are not able to intervene at the start when the problem start on surface, then the problem gets escalated later on. So this is why that most children come in conflict with the law and abusing drug, alcohol. So we support children in difficult circumstances to prevent those children coming in conflict with law and other issues. And beside this, supporting children in difficult circumstances is very crucial because reintegration is one of the part that we need to reintegrate right after their completion of their sentences from the juvenile facilities. So these are the two mandates that we have been doing so far. So like now ending violence against the children, the EVAC is one of the biggest project that is going to be rolled out in the 3 districts. And the reason why we was assigned Thimphu Dzongkha was, of course, we have our presence in other 5 districts, but looking at the Thimphu's, we have more case manager officer in Thimphu, and we have outreach worker. So that would enable us to expedite our activities and reach to the grassroots level. So child protection in the community is very crucial because we will be working with the communities, with the people, with the Sokpa, with the GURBs and the Mangmis, and especially the children. We'll be involving them in our participatory group activities, where children will come up with their own group of child-led group or child social group, where they will discuss their issues and how to cope with this, how to whom they have to talk when such problem arises. So until now, what I think is child protection in the community, people think that child protection is just a mandate of some few agencies, maybe NCWC, Renew, or some other few agencies. We just need to sit back. These people will come, give us a talk, do us a sensitize, and our task is to just to listen. So until now it has been like this now. So now we want to shift the responsibility. We want to give the responsibility to community to come up, initiate. It's their problem, this is their issue, how to cope, how to report, how to deal with the violence against the children. So basically this would be our activities in Thimphu Dzongkha.
Rightly pointed, we have this complacency as citizens to hope and pray that the respective organizations would pick up our slack, make up for our slack. And I think this project is one of those very rare, and I think it's one first of its kind, where different organizations have come together in hand, Mola, to basically end violence against children. We will go to Renew, but before that we will listen to the song. This is one of the most popular breakup songs, by the way. If you didn't know, the artist is Uge, and he wrote this song during quarantine when his heart broke, and he decided to be creative. So this is Gudira Ye by Uge.
Cheni chikadeda chegin no dozumbe cheluga wa chimatu no santadi liminarachi chenga chika mesme kuchunana leitadi deinga chelu atara Subenga chekam mat badaloru chimi pyaminge Gudire gadire chegatiye lokono me ngara chamchi zale mikwe Semagu be matme chetam chetom tamigawe ndolok macham charo bitigime juru Geragi tume Gadebi ye Chinese No samtadi Living arachi The chengachi ka mejme Gochunana leita di deinga Chilu aptara Nyemi subenga chekam Mat badaloru Chemi damige Gudire gadire chegati Lokono me ngara chamchi Salemi gue Semamu be madime checham chitom Damiga we dalok macham Charo bitigime Chara chamchi madime Charo ngobda ngaonge Chenguda ngamige Tachi cheva oname Lo lasha labniye Dari nichi kadige Gudire gadire chegatiye Lokono me ngara chamchi Salemi gue Semago be matime Chechak chitom Damiga we Dalok macham Charo bitigime
That was a cover song, I Want to Hold Your Hand by Keldon. And Keldon is not only a singer, but she is also the very popular actress from the movie Lunana, A Yak in the Classroom. Coming back to our discussion here, we have Renu from Renew, who Renew is going to be the organization that spearheads the campaign in Tashigamo. So please, if you could elaborate a little about your plans for the Dzongkhag.
Okay, firstly, thank you so much for UNICEF and NCWC and all the other stakeholders. Without our teamwork, then we won't be reached out here. To talk briefly about my organization, Renew was established in 2004. Our patron of the Renew is Gelim Sangis Chodin Wangchuk. So Renew is the only CSO in Bhutan who dealt with who provide immediate and integrated services to the survival of DV, domestic violence and gender-based violence. By now, we have reached, the registered case has reached out to around 5,000 and above, where we have provided individual service to the survival of domestic violence and gender-based violence. So to talk, our mission is to provide just, equitable and happy society. So to talk about we being as a leading agency for Tashikang Dzongkhag, our very objective is firstly to target to the Dzongkhag sector here, because if we are informed about the VAC for them, then then they should be in a position of knowing what the kind of activities that are going to help in their Dzongkhag. Then after that, we will go to the Geok level, where we are targeting Geok officer, where it include Mangmi, Sokpa and Edim, and at the same time we are also targeting health worker and ECC facilitator, because we feel that because whenever we have a gathering, they are the most one who are getting connected with the people at the community level. So we feel that it's very important to involve them as well. So this is basically an overall view of our micro plan, and to talk about the strength of Renew. Although we have reached all the 20 Dzongkhag where our MST CBS volunteers are there, who are voluntarily serving for the Renew, basically to reduce the violence against children and women. So, and I'm so happy to be the part of this VAC camping, because when we talk about it, Renew is basically dealing with the violence. We are providing and empowering the women who are the survivors of DV and GBV, but at the same time now we are mainly focusing on ending violence against children. So if they are being aware of what is VAC, then I'm sure that they will act as one of the bridge to end or reduce the violence against children. And at the end of this campaign, I hope that this campaign will reach out to every individual, and their message that they are the survival are not being blamed about they being the survival of domestic violence or GBV. At the same time, then we also hope that this will create awareness to all individuals in the grassroots level, and at the end of the day, we will be able to prevent and protect our children, because every parent aspires to have a very healthy, happy and mentally sound children. And if we don't care about children from initial level, then we won't be able to achieve that particular aspiration. So it's everyone's responsibility and everyone's duty to provide and protect our children and provide healthy and care for them.
On behalf of NCWC and the Royal Government of Bhutan, I feel like this is a very good opportunity to thank my colleagues here, who now I can easily call friends, because we have continuously worked so hard on this campaign, and not just this campaign, but the cause at large. So I'd like to thank all three of them for each in their own capacity, for their unwavering commitment in making sure that the campaign goes forward. Having said that, I'd also like to make a few mentions of our other development partners, which also is representative of how inclusive Bhutan has become, because we're not just addressing violence against children, but we're addressing violence against children who belong to minority groups, who who are children living with children with disabilities. So we have DRUXO and ABS representing that group. And also we have the Royal Bhutan Police, who have also obviously worked with us for a very long time and continuously do so. And then we have the Ministry of Education, who has been also a key player in this campaign, because they give us all the information that we need as far as children in schools and children out of schools is concerned.
Thank you, Kazang, for mentioning the other stakeholders in there, because it actually does give the whole campaign a very wholesome approach. We have not left out anybody, because children are in monasteries, children are at home, there are different kinds of children in our lives. Mola, so I am glad you were able to mention the other stakeholders. With that, we will cut to our next song, which is a very popular TikTok song. This song, I think, was made popular through TikTok, and when the song comes out, I'm sure a lot of you will be able to do the steps to it, me included. This is Tay Tay Ra by Ngaong Tile.
Dare tomna kaleti mindu Shadows, Jimmy, me, Nalona, me, Dare, Budalu, Cheto, Sameno. Dare tomda kaleti midu chiteira dinga dare tomda mi chusho memo chiteira dinga dare tomda kaleti midu chiteira dinga dare tomda show me more chiteira 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 Gale ai uina nisungin do pumche ai meina nitrite chedani nimite chigi Chigi tira Dinga du dare tonda Kaleti mi du tira Dinga du dare tonda Mi chuk show me mo tira Dinga du dare tonda Kaleti mi du tira Dinga du dare tonda Mi chuk show me mo tira
Snow glows white on a mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this whirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I've tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. And the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go. I'm the one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I stay. Let the storm rage on. My power furries through the air and to the ground. My soul is spiraling and frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. And I rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand, and here I stay. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
Damadeki is a mother to a beautiful 5-year-old girl, and she chose to sing Frozen, one of the most popular children's songs, for this show, dedicating it to her children and all the children in the country. And with this, we have come to the last segment of the discussion. And my question is, why have we decided to focus on these 3 dzongkaks?
Well, with the EVAC, we hoped for a very good regional representation. Thimphu obviously being the capital and the most populated, of course, demography-wise, and then we obviously have a lot of children living in Thimphu, so it makes sense to include Thimphu. For regional representation, we have looked into the east, Tashigang, and Samsi in the south. Having said that, EVAC is one aspect of what NCWC and its partners do. We have other projects and plans that focus on the same sort of representation in other dzongkaks, so that hopefully through what we do as far as the EVAC is concerned and other programs is concerned, that we'll be able to reach all dzongkak and that no child is left behind, no dzongkak is left behind, no district is left behind as far as addressing violence against children is concerned.
My final question is, at the end of the campaign, what do you hope to achieve? We'll start with Renew.
Thank you. Well, as the organization, at the end of the campaign, we hope that we are able to reach to every household level where individuals understand about what is actually violence against children mean, and they are able to protect and care to the every children. And I personally feel that at the end of campaign, I hope that everyone is more aware of the VAC, and at the same time, our children, my children, are safe and they are protected. They are feeling secure and led happy and good, happy and healthy life. So together, yes, we can prevent and reduce the violence against children.
Yes. Thank you. And Talela?
We hope to empower the children and community leaders to take responsibility in order to prevent the violence against the children, and it will also enable the protection system in the community level, in the grassroots level, that every child is being protected, cared, loved, and the case has been every case in the community should be, if there is any case, that should be reported. That's what we hope from this EVAC campaign.
Yes. And sorry?
Yes. Very crucial points raised, empowering and protecting our children. And I think personally, I do not want to see an end to this campaign. This is only the start. We are only looking at 3 districts right now. So there should be a multiplier effect to it. Okay, it's only Thimphu, Tashigang and Samsi for now. But with our collaboration and cooperation and our joint effort, I'm very confident, like everyone else here, that this will go beyond the project timeline and we will have a positive impact for the children, because like His Majesty always mentions, they're the future. All that we do now, it's for them. So for them, beyond the project timeline.
Okay. So I love the highlight here. There's safeguarding, providing a safe environment for the child. Then there's empowering and enabling these children. And then you've mentioned the fact that it has to be a continued effort from everybody's side. Mola. And now the same question to NCWC.
Well, as representing the government, I will speak from the government's perspective, and the message to the public at large is that you take ownership. What I, representing the government and NCWC, would like to see from this campaign is that people take ownership, irrespective of whether they are a parent or a caregiver or just a next door neighbor, that they know what their duty is as the citizen of the country. And through this campaign, we hope that the public at large is educated and informed, and not just about, oh, the different types of violence exists in the world or in Bhutan, or this is the type of sexual violence or peer violence or online violence, but also know who to contact. So at the same time, also, I want people to understand that the government and the CSOs and the NGOs can only do so much. We need the public's cooperation, and we hope that people will share the hashtag for the EVACs, because I have to use that social media. You know, hashtag is a very popular thing now. So if everyone could use their social media platform for a good cause and advocate the campaign as much as possible and do their duty just by sharing, they're just basically doing something for the campaign and for the country. So I really hope that people take ownership, irrespective of whether you're a parent or a caregiver or a next door neighbor. And we really do hope that, like my friend said, that people are empowered and this campaign goes way more than just the end of this year, which is the timeline. And we also hope that it complements the other projects that the government and its partners have tirelessly been working on. So this campaign is just an aspect of it, and we hope that it complements the other projects, and people are now much more informed through such a multi-sectoral collaborative effort from the government and the public at large.
Yes. Thank you so much, and thank you so much all of you here for taking this time out. And BBS will also be contributing in this effort with various panel discussions, so keep an eye out for that. And with that, we will have Dichin Yudin Lama with the final song, Go Easy on Me. It's a cover song originally sung by Adele.
There ain't no cold in this river that I've been washing my hands in forever. I know there is hope in this water, but I can't bring myself to swim when I am drowning in this silence. Baby, let me in. Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. Had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me, baby. There ain't no room for things to change when we are both so deeply stuck in our ways. You can't deny how hard I have tried. I changed who I was to put you both first, but now I give up. Go easy on me, babe. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. Had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me, baby. I had good intentions and the highest hopes, but I know right now it probably doesn't even show. So go easy on me, babe. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to feel the world around me. Had no time to choose what I chose to do. So go easy on me, baby.
And that brings us to Ending Violence Against Children campaign launch. But this is just the beginning. You have a lot to look forward to. We have multiple discussions, we have public service announcements, and we have various dramas and films that will focus on the theme of Rangi Puji Rangi NORBU. To quote His Majesty the King, "A nation cannot fool herself into thinking of a bright future when she has not invested wisely in her children." Iron quote. Every 42 hours, a child becomes a victim to some form of violence, be it physical, sexual, emotional, or neglect. It is important to note that this figure comes to us considering only the reported cases. We cannot deny that there are still violence against children that go unreported. This campaign wishes to reiterate the importance of giving our children the love, care, attention, and respect they deserve from us. Rangi Puji Rangi NORBU hopes to remind us that one shall reap what one sows.
Lasso, Tata, Chungi Katule, Inki Rawago, Nara Katule, Nanolu, Zonkagi Metosha, Banakule, that Tangachara, Tariki Lerimgi, Judenda, that Terisumera, Alugi, Tsupche, the Chametangi Sevigi, Nedun, the Tarikozuki Lerim Dusu. Panalu Sibjamgi Kisumbe, Nawal, Hindotobe, Taringachigi Sagodira, the Yuchi, Kanawa Kawigi, Tumrechibe, Sosum, Senuigi, Terhawa Yu, Sashuni, the Tedachikalu, Tangachara, Kachira Bedi Bisechure, Rangi Dunes, Shengi Dunes, Randa Shin Semid, no Satan de Give, better Brochibe watching, the Digitubis Turner Tumes, the Ginadungile, Machera Shule Semid the Kaches. Maumba semi de karimchi kache, ani maumba de karimchi kache uchi, alu de kache se. The bulletin de give, Taringa Chara Kakabgi Pejur Gisuju Kadebe Samrutsam, the Nagi Lamlu Kadebe Soroso, Mau Yuntingi Chaji Kajusum to the Soda de Besechurea, di Tatogi Najunsuki Chugoletin de give, Digi Samjudi, the Tinalu Kongi Kaki. 공기 시대디 준디기베 베마섭도 집에 와신 대 탄주 룹디들 숨집에 튼소와 라공이베 대 데볼레 땡디기베 대 다른 것이 날라마 대 레림주스 가데베 유비나 대 두장다 카툴레 날라마 레림수 가데베 피니나 대 좀베라 대 날로 냠절 버스기 카툴레 종카날라마 레림 가데베 피니나 가라기 대 두수데 대 같이 쪼띵기 레림수다 찍어베 피 다니 피울레 땡디기베 대 날라파 가테라 베디베스 주레 알루츠츠기 레림치 이세위 간레 때때 나튕게 나기베게 나고수게 세 다가라 잡수잡디면 멋있노루 동가텐디게베 때 배웅스 노이게라와 유 다리디 때가 주 고수기 레림비 날레마 때가 저기 또 레림디수 지슈니슈베 때 디와딜링게 레림 마도레스위라 레림 마도레스 토낭 마도기 톨레베 배우 때볼레 텐디게베 다리게 레림시 인선함 용루 히담비길레라 카디체 스슈니나